Hi, this is Amisha. Welcome to my channel where we talk about enjoying life. And today we're going to be talking about beekeeping. So I'm spending my Memorial Day at a bee farm, taking a tour and honey tasting. So stick with me. If you like it, subscribe, and share. Here we go.
Honeybees in those hives, but they are the queen, the worker, and the drone. So who we're talking about right now are the worker bees. And so, fun fact, the workers are all female. Mary, the school teacher, they're all female. These are all the lady bees, the workers. Probably 90% of the bees that we're going to see today are the worker bees. And so you'll know them because they are the tiniest bee, and they are just everywhere. They're covering every frame. They're doing all the jobs. These are the ones who will really only live 6 weeks. So the life cycle of a worker bee, first they are eggs, then they are pupa, first they are eggs, then they are larvae, then they are pupa, and then they emerge from these hexagonal cells. So when I say cell, I mean each little hexagonal hole is a cell. And they're going to emerge as adults. The very first thing that they're going to do is they're going to clean out, they're gonna clean out their rooms, make their little beds. They're gonna clean out their little hexagonal cell. And then they're going to immediately start feeding larvae. So larvae, when we look at those frames over there, which we will see some larvae today, these are like white little grubby wormy guys. So how many times a day do you think they need to eat? Constantly. Yeah, it's about 300 to 500 times a day. So the nurse, as soon as they hatch, these little worker bees, they immediately get started working, and they will get started feeding those little larvae 300 to 500 times a day. They're feeding them honey, pollen, and something called royal jelly. So royal jelly, have you guys seen that in like cosmetics? Like what, skincare, hair care, something like that?
Buy it to take it. Yeah, my mother took it, she said, for energy or something.
Yeah, okay. So royal jelly is a secretion that comes out of the bees' own bodies, kind of up near their antenna. It's just a protein, nutrient dense secretion, and they're feeding them a mix of these honey, this pollen, and this royal jelly. And so this larva is just eating it up there. So after that, side note, it's called royal jelly because if they wanted, say that they wanted to turn one of those larvae into a little queen, they wanted to raise their own queen, they would not feed that particular larva honey and pollen. They would feed her exclusively royal jelly. So what that does for her is it makes her little reproductive system mature all the way. So she has a fully functioning reproductive system. These little worker bees do not. So that's the difference. I don't know if you guys in the back can see. The queen is genetically identical to the worker bees, so they're just the same. And the worker bees actually decide which larva they want to turn into queens and which larva they want to turn into workers just by what they feed them as larvae. Huh? Yeah, so it could be a situation, have you guys seen like a swarm, or online you see pictures of everyone freaking out over a swarm of bees? Yeah. So bees are what we call a superorganism. So a hive of bees really acts like one organism. Even though there's 30 to 60,000 bees in one colony, they're really acting like one, they're functioning like one. And so a swarm is how they reproduce themselves in the spring. So what will happen is the queen, she's the only one to lay eggs. So she's laying this time of year probably 800 to 2,000 eggs a day. And so she's laying one in each cell. I know, it is crazy. Like, everyone's like, I'm the queen bee. And I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't sound too great to be queen. Like, You're very pregnant all the time. Sounds like a lot of work.
And there's only one queen per hive, right?
Exactly. So in each of those, so over there we have 4 colonies, and there's 4 queens in each of them. We hope. I hope there's a queen in each one. If there's not, that's a problem, and we'll find that out today. That's a whole different thing. But yeah, so there's 1 queen per hive. Her pheromones are very, very strong, and so last week when we were here, we saw the bees, the worker bees, like kind of feeling her with their antenna, and then dispersing those pheromones throughout the rest of the hive. So that's how her pheromones kind of establish her as queen, is by the workers coming and spreading, disseminating them. I know, like, just letting the power flow through the hive. I know. So that swarm, so what will happen is in early spring, they kind of get the itch to swarm. And as a beekeeper, we're like, no. And there's ways we can kind of mitigate that instinct, because we don't want to see half of our bees fly away. That's very sad for us. But what we'll do is we'll split the hive, and make them feel like they've already swarmed. So it's still kind of
swarm to create a new hive?
Yes. So what she'll do is she'll just go on laying a bunch of eggs. The worker bees will kind of get the itch to swarm, and so they'll start feeding some of those larvae just the royal jelly, and so they'll start raising some new, what we call virgin queens. And so when one of those virgin queen hatches, the queen does have a stinger. She will not use it to defend the hive. She will only use it against rival queens. So this is their I know, you guys. It's everyone's like, yay, happy honeybee hive. And I'm like, kind of dystopian honeybee situation. So these are their gestational ages right here. The queen is the one with the fully mature reproductive system, but she's got the shortest gestational age. It is very beneficial for her to be the first one to hatch, because what she will do is she will go her rival virgin queens, because they might raise. I've had a hive that raised like 4 virgin queens when they wanted to swarm, but I've also had a colony that raised like 20 of them. And so anyway, so she's the first one to hatch. She'll go around and make sure she's the only one to hatch. If she's not, they will fight, those 2 virgin queens, and the winner is the one who
just take over for the old queen, or do they make a new one?
So what happens is, this feels really unfair, what I'm about to tell you, because, like, you know, the mother queen is still there. She's still chilling in there. What they will do, though, because that mother queen, you know, she's very large. She's very pregnant. So what she'll do, or what the worker bees will do, is they will starve her for about 3 days, so that way she is light enough to fly. And so what they'll do is, after those 3 days, they'll start just biting her and agitating her, and she'll get to they'll kind of force her to the bottom of the hive. This is mom, by the way. This is their mom. And they will agitate her until she kind of leaves with about half the worker bees and some drones in like a tornado of bees. And so mom gets kicked out. The new virgin queen stays with about half the bees. She'll land on a tree branch or something, because again, she can't fly terribly well. So when you see a swarm, that's just a temporary resting place for them. They could be there for 3 hours, they could be there for 3 days, but eventually they will leave, because the whole time they're sending out scout bees to find a more permanent place to live. So we get a lot of calls early on in the spring to come capture the swarms, which we love doing, because that's freebies for us. But yeah, so we'll come capture the swarms, or, you know, if we're too far away, we just ask that people don't spray them, because they will eventually leave. They're not going to set up, they're not going to live on your mailbox forever. Like, it's just a matter of time. Give them time. And they're also not aggressive. So honeybees are not offensive usually. They are mostly defensive. When they're a swarm, they have nothing to defend. So they're not, you know, they're kind of homeless. They're kind of sad. So just give them some time. They're usually very gentle. But that being said, there is a lady, like, I don't know, there's like lots of TikToks and Instagram stuff now where you see beekeepers like touching the swarm with their bare hands, and, you know, usually they have like a full face of makeup and perfect hair, and they're like going in there. You know who I'm talking about? You know who I'm talking about. Okay, yes, she knows.
She's always putting them in her hair clip.
Yeah, it's finding the queen and putting the queen in the, and I'm just like, but now we're just gonna have 12-year-olds running around petting bees. Like, don't do that. Like, it's not always a good idea. Yes, they're gentle, but be smart. Call a beekeeper if you see a swarm. Okay, so that's the queen, the worker. Oh, we will continue on with the worker bee's life cycle. So after she what we call them doing nurse bee duty, feeding the larva, she will then, those royal jelly glands will dry up. And so then their wax glands will begin to activate. And so their wax glands are on their abdomen. So that bottom part is actually their abdomen. Lots of people think it's this little middle ball. That's where the abdomen would be for us, but that is their thorax. So they have a head, thorax, and abdomen. Abdomen, sorry. I'm pointing to the queen. She does not produce wax. The workers produce wax. So they will the wax will come off in flakes on her abdomen, and they'll take it and they'll kind of work it like Play-Doh, kind of pass it back and forth, make it warm and pliable, and they will then become the little hive architects, and they'll just start building that hexagonal comb. And when I say comb, I mean any wax. So if I say brood comb, brood would be the baby bees. So if I say, oh, this is a great frame of brood comb, it's the babies. If I say honeycomb, obviously honey. So they're doing that for a few days. After that, their little wax glands will dry up, and then their venom glands will begin activating. So that's the fun one, right? Honeybees do have barbed stingers. So that means if they sting you, their stinger stays in your skin. And the benefit, again, we're talking a super organism here. So if you lose a couple bees when Winnie the Pooh comes to rob out your hive, that's, as long as you protect the super organism, you're doing your job as a little honeybee. So what happens is the venom gland actually gets left behind. And so if you're a human, you can you're like, I got stung, and you just kind of instinctively like, and that takes the stinger out of your skin. But if you're a little Winnie the Pooh and you've come to rob the hive, you don't have the thumbs to be like, oh, let me just pick these off. The venom gland is in there pumping for up to 20 minutes. So it does, that sting will do more damage than something like a yellow jacket sting, which yellow jackets have a smooth stinger and, the whatever, and they can sting you multiple times. They're the worst. No offense.
Go Jacket.
Go Jackets. My husband went to Georgia Tech twice. I know. I was like, But he still fights with yellow jackets in our yard. It's fine. So yeah, they do sting. So they'll once their venom glands begin producing, they will take duty as guard bees, and so they'll kind of walk the bottom of the hives. And then after a little while, they'll become foragers. Who knows what things they are foraging for? Wow, really? Nothing? Pollen, Jen, pollen, yes. Pollen. You're all so afraid. Pollen is their source of protein. So we'll see some pollen in there. Pollen is like them just eating a big old steak dinner. As soon as they emerge, they will go find pollen in the hive and kind of give themselves a little bit of strength. So pollen is one thing. What else? Nectar, Nancy. Nectar, absolutely. So nectar they're going to bring back and turn into honey. So this time of year, clover and Chinese privet may be the only things still producing nectar. We are about to close out spring and enter what we call the summer dearth, which is just the time period where there are things blooming still, but nothing is producing nectar. So in this area, we won't see things producing nectar again until the fall. We have a very light, what we call nectar flow from aster and goldenrod. So we'll see those things happen in the fall a little bit. But the big Super Bowl for honeybees is in the spring. And so we're kind of closing out that season. This is actually my last beekeeping experience for the whole spring. And so it's very bittersweet. So I know I'm like, oh, it'll be really nice to have my Saturday afternoons back. But I really love doing these. These are like my favorite things ever. So anyway, so yeah, we will close these out because we're going to be focusing on harvesting honey after this, and it's just no fun to be in a bee suit when it's 87 degrees. So you're welcome for not making you do that. All right, and then so they're foraging for pollen, nectar. They're also foraging for water. In the summer especially, they will be bringing in water to kind of cool down their hive. And they're also foraging for plant resin to turn into propolis. Has anyone seen propolis in like homeopathic thing? It's like a throat. You've seen it like in a throat spray. Yeah. So it's everywhere in the hive. This is a hive tool. You'll each be getting one of these when we go out to the hive. So this like orangey brown substance right here is propolis. It looks gross. It has the consistency of like chewing gum, chewed chewing gum, not just the stuff you unwrap. But it actually is amazing for the hive. It is not dirty or gross at all, even though it will stain your gloves and stain your everything. It has antifungal, antibacterial, all the antimicrobial properties. They get it from tree sap and plant resin. They mix it with their own saliva and enzymes. And they also use it to make their hive watertight. So, fun story. I don't know how fun it is. It's actually not very fun at all. It's kind of macabre. But I was looking in one of our hives after winter. You don't really check inside the hives in winter. You want them to stay warm. And I found this like ball of propolis at the bottom, and I was like, wow, what is that? So I get down there and I'm like poking around at it. Some little mouse, I think it was a mouse at one point, had gotten in there, because they have to keep, in the winter, they keep the brood and the queen at 95 degrees year round. So they're just in there clustering. So it's very warm. If you're a little mouse, like, that's very inviting. And
The brood is the
baby bees, yes, the baby bees. Anything egg, larva, or pupa is brood. Sorry about that. And so that little mouse had crawled up there and had either expired from natural causes, or the bees had decided they did not like this new intruder. But it was great, because then they, if that mouse had been left to decompose, that could have introduced a whole host of diseases and impurities in the hive. So they basically entombed this mouse in propolis. And so I was like, wow, you guys are so smart. Great for you. Poor mouse. Should have picked a better location to overwinter.
Talking about diseases, what happens if the queen dies? They just wait for a new one to hatch?
Yeah, so what they'll do is they will, what they'll do is they know they're without a queen within 30 minutes. So they can just tell pretty much immediately. So what they'll do is they'll go find a brand new larva who has just hatched, and they'll start feeding her royal jelly. And so when she hatches, or when she emerges, she'll be the queen. So going back to the about 16 days. So although that queen will not be what we call a laying queen, so a mated queen, what will happen is when that new virgin queen hatches, she'll wait a few days, regain her strength, and then she will go out on a mating flight, and she will meet up with some of these guys. So these are the drones. Drones are the boys of the hive. What they do inside the hive is absolutely nothing. That's actually it's not entirely true. They're starting to think there might be some use for drones, but mostly they do nothing. They cannot feed larvae. They cannot help turn nectar into honey. They don't produce wax. They don't sting. They don't really, they're like they don't even forage. Their tongues are not, their proboscis is not long enough to even reach down into a flower and collect their own nectar. And probably about 10% of the hive is going to be drones this time of year. And we will know them because if you look mainly at their eyes are huge compared to the little worker bees. They're big. They look like little linebackers next to the worker bees. And they're real fuzzy. They almost look like bumblebees kind of in the hive. And I can help you point out where the drones are in the hive. But their primary job is to donate their genetic material to the next generation. So what the drones will do is they will go out flying in what we call drone congregating areas. And so a honeybee has a flight radius of about 3 to 5 miles. So it's drones from just kind of all over the area. And they're just going, sometimes you hear them referred to as a drone comet. And they're just flying along the treetops, and they're just emitting a massive amount of pheromones. And all the little virgin queens in the area are picking up on these pheromones, and so they're going to come pay this drone comet a visit. The virgin queen might mate with up to 12 drones in one mating flight. The drones immediately die. Their bottom half explodes off of their top half once the deed is done. And I have a friend, I know you guys, I have a friend who lives under a drone congregating area, and every spring her yard is littered with half drones. Yes, so
On the ground.
yeah, just on the ground, just some little half bees everywhere.
They're tiny. Would you notice that? I mean,
She picked, because they're just everywhere in her yard, and so she picked one up, and she was like, Ellen, what's this? And I was like, he died doing what he loved. I don't know, like he died a very happy bee. So she now has all the genetic material she will need for the rest of her life. So she has a lifespan of about 2 to 5 years, barring any other accident or something. So she will carry that genetic material with her for her whole life.
She can collect that much.
She can collect that much genetic material. Yep. And she will choose to either self-inseminate an egg as she lays it. And if she does that, it is a diploid, which means half of the genetics are from mom, half are from dad. That's a worker bee. If she chooses not to self-inseminate, it's a haploid, so it's a drone. So drones, not like humans, we all have 2 sets of chromosomes. But in the bee world, if you have 2 sets of chromosomes, you're a girl. If you have half, you're just basically a genetic copy of mom. You're a boy. It is a little confusing. Actually, I've heard of turkeys doing that too.
But
So
how,
anyway.
It's only the mom's genetic material. How does it?
Because it's only half of the mom's genetic material. I don't know. Listen, I don't know. Yeah, it's
Like
just
the dad's just
because she has 2 copies of chromosomes. He only has 1. So I don't know. You can look up haploid and
Queen
diploid.
is deciding, like, managing that 10%
Yeah.
to be drone.
She is. So, yeah, they really don't go over 10% ish. Some drones. I mean, you know, anyway, there's other.
Does the queen have also half and half?
Yeah,
Or-
because she's a female, so she's got mom and dad, and so that means all the workers are at least half sisters. And so you'll see in that the big hive we're gonna go in today, that some of them you'll see like variations in colors of the worker bees. Some of them are like honey colored and very light. Some of them are a little bit darker colored. Some of them are almost black. I have a red-headed hive at home. It's super cute. Like some of them, every now and then you'll see one that just like looks almost pinkish. It's so cute. Okay. So I think that is pretty much what we're looking for. We're gonna see workers, we're gonna see drones. We would love to see the queen. However, that is one single bee in many thousands of bees. So sometimes we see her, sometimes we don't. You will know her, because she looks kind of like a worker, but her abdomen size, she is dragging that wagon. She is real pregnant. So if you have questions about if you see the queen or not, please let me know, because I want to check it out. If we don't see the queen, the next best thing is seeing eggs, because if we have eggs, we know we've had a queen in the last 3 days. And I can help you look for those too. We'll go on a little egg hunt together.
Is there any rhyme or reason to why they, like 24 days before drone emerges as opposed to 16 for the queen? Does that matter or mean anything?
It just, for the queen, it's good to be the first one out the gate. For the drones, I have no idea why they take so long. Maybe just because they're so big. But then the workers, that's, they're just kind of in between the two. Let's see. Any questions does to your stuff after a while. Okay. For the rest of us, so she's 6'3", I'm 6 feet. Is anyone else 6 feet? On the other end, we're like, just wait. Okay, great. Let me see, which side is this? All right. So then I'm just going to start passing out bee suits, and we'll, I'm going to give you this one. Did you guys want white, or white? Mix. White? Awesome. I'm so glad. Beautiful. I will do a safety check and check everybody's zippers before we leave, so don't worry if you're not sure if we did it right. I'm going to fix the gloves a little bit. There you go. Alright, and I'm going to check your feet. Perfect. You're good to go. And I'm going to lift up right here.
But it's weird to see it through the screen.
It is a little.
And I can see all the sun on the metal. So it's actually see. Is it because of my glasses?
Now I can see,
Yeah.
but get used to it. So when she was saying the smaller hive, was she meaning that little white one? Mm-hmm. And so
Time's kind of not like a great. So you guys can make room for everybody. Amisha, you can come over this way. You guys can step in. And just kind of watch them. It's kind of fun. Woo! There we go. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Whoa. I know. Fire's being fire.
We're looking at that.
So yeah, sometimes it's just fun to watch. Like they're just going in and out. They carry the pollen on the back of their legs. And so every now and then you'll see a bee who lands who has something that looks like little yellow leg warmers. It's super cute. And that would be the pollen, and I'll point that out to you as well. Today, if you want to do the beekeeping and be very hands-on, I want that for you. If you do not, that is totally okay. Just, you know, you can look at frames that other people are holding, take pictures, things like that. So this will still be interactive. I just will need a little bit of your patience. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to release these bees. So fun. I know, they're in timeout. They're not in timeout. They're fine. They're good bees. So I moved them from my yard, and no dexterity. Cannot deal with that. Okay. This feels like a little unceremonious. I feel like we should have some music playing or something. Da, 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 da. And they're so anxious to come out. Don't let that scare you. They're just anxious to come out. They have no idea. They're a little disoriented. They don't really know where they are right now. I'm sorry. I know. You're safer here, though. It's better for you here.
These are the ones you brought from your house?
They are. Yeah, they look small. This is a new baby colony. And so they were getting kind of picked on by some of the older, by some of the bigger colonies.
And why would the other ones picking them?
How can you tell?
Yeah, so we noticed robbing behavior.
How can you tell the bullying is happening?
Right. I know. So we noticed robbing behavior. So they were going in and there's certain signs like bees falling off the landing board, like clumps of bees. That means that the guards are attacking intruders and they're kind of falling off the side. I know, right? So we were like, we need to.
So these guys were trying to steal the honey from the other ones?
No, the other ones were trying to. Yeah, because this is a smaller hive, so they were picking on them.
The guards were trying to attack the defend the colony.
Doing their best.
They were trying to steal honey.
Yeah, stealing honey, stealing resources. So we'll just toss that off to the side.
So you said that they share resources.
I share resources between the hives to kind of. So what I'll do today. These bees need more numbers. They need more bees inside their hive. So I'll take a frame of brood from this hive today and move it over into this. And so y'all will help me do that.
They won't know that they're not from the same hive.
They won't. I mean, because they're gonna hatch and be like, oh, this is my hive. Cool.
And they won't. The other bees don't know that like they have different genetics. They're from a different
No,
hive.
they don't know. It doesn't really matter
They
to
seem
them.
so smart in some ways. Or something they don't know.
Don't insult my bees. All right. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna now have you guys stand behind the hive because so.
To this one, and they're going to pretend like they're part of this hive. Well, they're gonna
Pretend they are a part of the hive. They're just
Not
adopted.
genetically related. It's weird because all of them are the ones at the same time.
So you guys can step forward like closer. But I'm gonna have you stand behind the hives just because up here the guard bees are this is gonna kind of alert the guard bees. Like they're gonna pay more attention to me. But if you're back there, you won't raise the guard bees' hackles quite like I am doing right now. We'll get that later. Just remind me, don't let me leave that there. So what I'm gonna do, I don't have a hive tool. Can I borrow someone's hive tool? Thank you, friend. All right, so I'm going to lift it up. And we have bees. So what I'm doing is just, you see all this propolis, like all this orangey brown stuff?
Can we get close?
On top.
This is just for ventilation. So especially in the summer, ventilation is really important. So what I'm doing now is just opening the hive. And so this is where the hive tool is really important. Do y'all hear that? Like, that's the propolis.
It looks like gummy.
It is gummy. It's super gummy.
And what does the propolis do again?
It's kind of helps keep them watertight, helps them with insulation, but it also has antimicrobial properties. So we'll just lay that here. And I'll give them just a little bit of smoke to let them know that we're here. And you can kind of see them responding to that smoke.
Can we get close up?
Yeah, you can. So if you want to get your own frame in just a minute, pay attention to what I'm doing because this won't be the only time I explain it, but I will. This is how you get a frame. So you're going to take your hive tool and start with the square end. And then I'll just go for this frame right here. And I think this frame is all honey. I think this entire top box is all honey, so we'll see. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking on either side of the frame.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm just kind of breaking the propolis seal. And then I'm going down to the other end. This hive loves propolis. And it takes just a minute, and they're curious. They're coming out to say, what's up? All right, then I'm gonna take the hook end, and there's a little notch on the wooden frame, and there's a little gap between that notch and the box. And I just put my hook in it, and I'll show you that when you get up here. And I just rock it back up, and it kind of helps me get leverage. And I'll do that one more time over here because it was not, there we go. There we go. All right, and then I'm just gonna slowly, remember we're just always moving very slowly. And we're gonna pull this frame up. Oh, we've got honey, yay. Lots of honey.
Where's the honey?
Okay, I will show you, so. Woo. I will come over here and show you. Okay, so all of this, you see how it's kind of capped over with all these little hexagons are like capped over with wax?
Yes.
That is honey, that is nectar that has been turned into honey. And so on this side, we have some, what is on that side? Let me get the sun behind me.
Oh, is the honey inside though, right?
Yeah, so the honey is inside those cells.
And that's that film on top is to protect the honey.
Is to protect it, yes.
Okay.
And so you have,
which ones have honey and which ones have the babies.
I will show you that. Yeah, so we'll it'll look really different when we, I think this box will mostly be honey.
So what are they doing if the honey's there and that's protecting the honey? What are they doing? Just walking
They
around?
could be eating it, they could be depositing more honey, they could be doing all kinds of stuff. They could be, it looks like they're busy down like in the middle of the bottom. Would anyone like to hold this frame? Okay, Mary, I won't let go till you say you're ready. It's heavier than you think it might be. Okay, and you can pull that in towards yourself. Actually, I'm gonna have you hold it straight up and down. So if you, Mary, I'm gonna have you turn around because we have on this side a little drone friend right here. Oh, people are walking all over him.
Oh yeah.
Do you see him, how he's bigger?
And fuzzy, fuzzy, no?
look bigger. Okay. You see him, and if you see him, all right, let's get another frame going so that way we can.
Are they putting that wax over the
Would anyone like to pull their own frame? Brittany will go first. You can stand right here. We'll work on this frame right now. All right, so.
And that one too. There's two of them.
This one too.
They've got like white black bodies.
Yeah, they have this one too.
Oh, they're totally different. They are totally different.
Yeah, they're
You
bigger.
want to adjust?
They don't have as many stripes on the back.
Are you good? All right, and you just looks like they're eating. So you've got honey on this
I know, it looks like
side.
they're eating the wax.
Yep.
Well, there's like honey exposed
Why don't you
there.
turn
Like,
around?
there is
There
there.
Oh yeah.
It's like kind of, and right there. It's kind of more shiny.
Hey,
So
look, that big middle part
it
is
heavy?
open.
maybe they haven't done that part yet.
You can
Yeah, I know.
smell it. I know.
To put honey in it.
Charlotte, did you want to get one? Yeah. I mean, I'm going to have you step that way. And you guys can pass frames to each other.
You want to hold it?
Sure.
I gotta pick up stuff. Where you
Let's do it. Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, get the square side, and I'm going to have you do that on both sides.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's dripping over here. Oh, yeah.
Sure, then you would think, right?
There's so
Yeah.
many.
Actually.
So why didn't try to sting us? They know that
Really
we're wearing
big.
clothes.
Could that be a
They're
queen?
just not too worried about it.
Oh, there's another really big one.
this is so
Down
interesting.
below. Maybe they're drones.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, they're usually pretty chill in this area. There's, so, Fernando, if you look, there's some exposed, yeah, of course, we exposed
Already the structure itself has the hexagon.
for them to make, so it kind of just helps them. Obviously,
You can see it on that one. It's already.
Perfect.
Oh, that part? Is that the part that's they didn't build that part?
The hive.
And this one, have they layered like a second layer of
Nectar.
How do they dehydrate it?
So they fan their wings and suck on dry days, and they suck in the dry air, and they kind of expel
It
the
almost looks
wet
like
air.
hexagons on top of other hexagons.
Crazy bees. They're so pounds. So this top box full of honey, yes.
Does
Absolutely.
that box on top have a bottom on it, or is it
Nope.
open? So it's just at the side, so
Right.
they can move around.
They can move up and down as much as they want. So what I'm gonna have you guys do while I move it, I'm gonna move the box here.
Do they tend to put more honey in the top box?
They do, and yeah, they put their brood down here because it's better ventilated. They can control the temperature a little bit easier than they can the honey. I'm gonna have someone pry this box while I lift it, and just please don't film my primal grunting here. Yeah, just oh my gosh, it's okay. Yeah, why don't someone else pry the other corner? 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Oh, there
my
it
gosh.
goes. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's so
That did the trick.
freaking heavy. Okay. Alright. I did it. Slow movements. Oh my gosh, I survived that.
What
You
would
guys,
happen if you just like drop that box? Would they all like fly out?
cloud of bees. Yeah, they would not be
They
happy with
wouldn't
me.
be damaged. They would just be scared.
Yeah, nothing would.
Oh, look, found it. Yeah, they get a
They
little
respond to
bit.
the smoke a little bit. But this is a really good way to kind of, let's see, I just saw one bee who was just like much darker, and she was like really pretty, but she ran away. But this is, if you kind of look for on the next frame that you hold like different genetic variations of the bees. And one thing I am going to do real fast is cover up the honey box because I don't want to invite other bees from other hives to partake. So give them a little bit more of a defensible space. Whoop, sorry. Dexterity in the gloves is not great. Okay, so down here I would start to expect to see more brood. So I'm going to start looking for those eggs, larvae, and pupa. And I might even start looking for the queen. So would anyone like to, who has not grabbed their own frame, who would like to? All right, let's go. Why don't you come here? I'm gonna steal this hive till I don't know whose it is. We'll go for this one right here. So just over on this side, I'm gonna have you do this and this. Just kind of gently move it back and forth. And I'm also looking for a good brood frame to donate to my little tiny colony over here, because this hive will not miss it. All right, and so once you do that, there's like a gap right here.
Instead of like this.
These ones are all related.
All right, and when you're ready. All right, so this is a brood frame. Okay, so this is a brood frame. What, Juliet, is that your name? All right, so this is a brood frame what Juliet has. So she's gonna turn around and show you. So you remember what the wax cappings looked like? So these, all the things that are capped over with like that papery brown wax, that is pupa. So you can kind of see the difference between the pupa and the honey wax cappings. And I'm gonna just check and see.
Oh, you can see one here that's hatching, right?
Oh yeah, turn around. Oh, yeah. Here, actually, let's see if we have one on this side. Might be easier.
Right there, there's one hatching.
It's her bee day. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it around.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna help you turn that around.
Right there.
And then here, if you continue to show. There's a bunch of them hatching. There's some here. There's one there.
Is that like minutes or hours or?
That's what that is. It's coming out of the hole.
Oh, wow.
They're hatching. Look!
Good minute.
Everybody wish her happy bee day. Oh my goodness! Welcome. Welcome to Earth.
More than the other ones?
Just the where I'm seeing bees.
Would anyone else like to get another brood frame? We have, I think, quite a few in this. Can someone point it out to Nancy? All right, you want to go? All right, Julia, I'm gonna have you take a step or two forward. There you go. I'm gonna go for this one. Get your square side, and we're just gently gonna like break that propolis seal just a little bit. It's coming out. It's coming out.
Switch it to the.
Yeah, perfect. That one didn't need much.
Yeah.
All right, and then I think this one we're gonna have to be careful because it looks like this frame is a little bit broken. So actually, let me. You won't be able to use your hook.
Okay.
I think you're just gonna have to reach your fingers. Do you see how it's separated a little bit? All right, she is right. Hold it up. She's right there. I'm gonna have you turn. Well, I'm gonna have you just turn it around and then face everybody.
Absolutely.
So she is right there.
Yeah, that one's big.
So she is really. Get a picture.
Ruth saw that. It was like,
I can't
she
believe
goes,
I
what
missed
is
it. I was
that
like, oh, yeah,
big
no queen on
thing?
that one.
Hold it so you can see, Fernanda.
Do you see the queen? No, they don't
Oh yeah,
see it.
there it is, right there. I'll sort it out.
The genetic differences there. Okay. Now we can do our
She's in that neighborhood.
yes, that's perfect.
Are your arms getting tired?
No, what are they doing when they're half in, half out? They're not being born. These are ones that go in the cells. Are they feeding the larva?
Maybe.
The ones that are half in, half out.
Was it one from that hive and one from this
I
one?
have no idea. They just fell out of this hive. It's
It was
right
probably
here.
it was probably one from this one trying to go in.
They're just.
There's a lot of dead bees here. Are these the drones that died from?
No, those are just. I mean, they have a 6-week lifespan, so that if any bee expires in the hive, they'll just carry her away.
Not very far away.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Wow, they're just really resting.